Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
I wish I could tell you how she starts the conversation, because she's such a dainty lady with her. The way she describes what goes on with her body once a month is like if you took a trucker on acid and
come on,
put him in a welding factory for 9 months and then had him be as completely ladylike as possible. But because you're having a natural woman function approach, you got mad at your husband. Can you list off all the things he did wrong just at the gas station?
The thing is, I should probably stay away from a lot of people 2 days out, because I get so upset at everything and they're just living their life. So it's not really fair. And so that's why I censor myself. I do not call people out if they bother me, but it was just little things.
For instance,
here and there.
He did what wrong today?
Today?
Or the other day.
We stopped at the gas station and I told them they could grab a sandwich because it was going to be a long day.
You allowed him to eat and he did that wrong?
He went to the healthy portion of Quick Trip, which was great. Okay. And he got his sandwich, and then there's like a condiment area that you can go to. And he got like wilted lettuce, which made me mad.
So he chose a lettuce that angered you. Did you have to eat the lettuce?
No,
he chose the lettuce he wanted, which angered you.
Saying this out loud, I understand how off kilter it sounds.
I don't think you do.
And that's why I didn't bring it up. That's why I just walked away. But I saw it was like all brown and wilted. And to me, I'm like, why aren't you choosing the better leaves of lettuce? But who am I to say it?
Okay, then what else did you do wrong about a sandwich?
Then he grabs the mayo packets and he can never peel where it says tear here. And so he's just like,
and this angered you.
Teeth and and then it just like pops onto his shirt and we have the whole day of like doing stuff. And I just get so inside my body. I'm just like, see, I'm gonna die.
Because he wasn't making the sandwich according to your...
I think I'm going to die.
You understand how psychotic this whole thing is, right?
Oh, my God. You're getting me all worked up.
I think this is a class action lawsuit?
It is a class action. That means more than 2 people had to bring forth an issue. There have been several parents that are now going forth. This is in Canada only so far. But there are parents saying that their kids are not sleeping. They're not eating. They're refusing to shower, all because they are addicted to playing Fortnite. So I watch my kid play Fortnite. I don't understand it for the life of me, but I know that he has fun and he's definitely not addicted. When he gets on, he'll be on for like maybe 45 minutes with his friends.
If you didn't keep the reins on him, would he be addicted?
No.
You think he's got enough self-discipline, or he's not that into it that it wouldn't consume all of his spare time?
Yeah, it's definitely not something that he gets home and has to jump on.
I think he's rare. I think he's rare at his age. I think a lot of kids now here's the difference. And if you're listening to this as a crotchety old man like me, or a crotchety old lady like Kat is becoming quickly, the difference is when we played video games, right? When we had the Nintendo as a kid, you played and it was just you. And maybe you had a friend next to you. The biggest difference right now is this is a social thing. This is really, they strap on the headphones, they got the microphone, and they're really having an intimate conversation with their friends while they're doing this, right? It's the same as if you and your friend had a tree house and you went up there and you hung up. Okay. It's the same thing, except they're playing a video game. So part of me is like, they're learning some really intense hand-eye coordination, problem solving on the draw. They're learning to think quick and act quick. Those are byproducts of this. Plus, they're hanging out with their friends and And I'm telling you, where it really got to be a big deal, at least for my son, when pandemic hit and he couldn't see his friends. Right, you had to be locked down for a while. He could still interact with them that way, and I would hear him screaming from his room, and I would go up there and he'd have the headphones on, and he'd have his friends on FaceTime.
Yeah. So you named off all the pluses that you feel, the hand-eye coordination, stuff like that. But when you get out in the real world, you can't be the stinky person, and you have to sleep so you can function the next day. You know, there are pluses and minuses to this game. I think that he has a lot of fun talking to his friends in his headset or whatever. But my kid, if I go
sue,
I would never look like an idiot like that, because these parents that can't get a handle on their children and shut off the console and take the controllers, I can't even with parents that don't have any control over their kids.
Do you agree that Fortnite should be able to be sued because your kid won't shower or eat or sleep? Tom, first thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, no, I don't think that they should be able to be sued for that. And I don't think that I would ever worry about it if I was them. They've been sued for so many things that every lawsuit has failed against them, including music dances and things that other people have claimed are theirs. They've won so many lawsuits already. This one doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Take care of your own kids, like Kat said.
Now, do you have kids?
I have 4 girls.
And do they get into Fortnite or any of the other video games where they're kind of talking to their friends?
They do, but, at the same time, like, they still have to maintain their schoolwork or they lose their game systems, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
Like, what's the difference, like, when you're an adult and you just want to keep staying at happy hour all night? You can't. You have life to get to. You know what I mean? Like, this is them socializing with their friends, but you still have to eat freaking dinner, and you have to shower and do your homework. Like, this is life.
There's a class action lawsuit against Fortnite because of its addictive properties. Kids are not showering. They're not doing their schoolwork. They're not even eating. And so some parents got together and they're suing Fortnite.
Riddle me this. What's going to happen? What's going to happen if they win this? Like, Fortnite is not going to go away.
I think the theory with a class action lawsuit is to change the parameters in the future. So video games would
it'll shut off your console for you if you play too long, or what?
I mean, you got to think about this as a video game maker. They got the brass ring. They figured out a way to make every kid want to play this for hours and days and months and years.
This is 100% the parents' fault.
Miss Erica, thoughts on this?
Interesting. A lot of my kids at school don't play Fortnite, so I don't really know a whole lot about that, but video games in general are just like a huge problem, and like the usage of technology. So we see that like interfere a lot with their ability to focus at school when they have their like phones and computers out and they're using them recreationally, regardless of what it is.
How are they allowed to have them out in school? It's like totally okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I was going to say, I love the opinion that, parents got to parent their children, but it also does seep through into every portion of those little kids. They will do everything they can to get on that video game.
100%.
And my old man always used to say, you got to pick which fight to put your dog in, and sometimes you're not willing to put your dog in that fight. You know what I mean?
For sure. Although I don't allow it in my classroom, it's a problem.
No, of course. We all know how strict Miss Erica is.
Right.
I want to thank you for the call. Megan, what's your thoughts on this? I mean, they're suing Fortnite. Are you into this?
Okay, so my son plays some mad, gaming, and Fortnite happens to be one of them. He's 12. Of course he's playing. But when I walk into his room as his mom, and I'm like, bro, you're done. And he's like, all right, and he just turns it off.
Yeah.
What? I'm perplexed as to why these parents are blaming a video game that they so easily could just pull the cord from the wall or change the Wi-Fi password. You're done.
I know.
End of story.
So the doctor clinically told the parents that they were clinically addicted. All right.
They diagnosed a child with addiction.
Okay, so I have a nicotine addiction. Am I going to sue the company for that?
But
some people do. A lot of people do.
People have. Philip Morris is billions of dollars out their pocket over the years because of people suing because of addiction. Now I don't know if there's some precedent set right now, and I think that's why the warning label has to go. What I would assume is going to come out of all this, real quick, just to kind of put a nice fancy bow on this, is I would bet by the time next Christmas rolls around, if you're looking to download a video game, you're going to have to click on something that says, I understand that this has addictive properties. Right. Or if you go and buy a video game, I don't even know if you can still, but you can still buy them.
You know my thoughts on this?
Yeah.
These are the people that are the reason that it says do not use your curling iron while showering.
Yes.
But it happened somewhere along the line. It wasn't common sense enough
had to do it.
Where somebody had to say, I shouldn't make toast in the bathtub. And
that's what I'm saying. Why is common sense is not common? And it's just, it's disturbing.
I also think you shouldn't waste any time if you're listening to this right now and you have kids that are you're feeling like maybe they're going down that road where they don't blink anymore and they barely sleep because all they do is think about playing video games and they're not really listening to you anymore. It's only going to get worse. And so if you can come to an agreement with them, like, listen, this is what's going to happen if you don't start acting like a normal person, we're going to have to take
a lot of people have predicted that we're going to be the end of our own civilization because of stupid things like this.
Oh, yeah,
and they're probably not too far off.
What's trending?
Trending today is this guy. He shows up at his wife's, what she thought was a photo shoot for somebody else that was getting proposed to. So she's waiting there and she has her camera all ready to capture this moment. And out walks her now fiance.
Hey, baby.
Babe, what the
Hey, guys. I love you with all my heart and soul.
How did you get
And I promise to love you. Will you marry me?
So you would think as human beings, we'd have some part of our heart that's just like, wow, another couple that has found true love. No, the internet has now found a way to turn this and say he did look like he attempted about 5 times to go down on one knee and then like his body wouldn't let him almost.
Maybe he's got arthritis.
But people are like, you're not respecting her already. What a great start to your marriage.
There's so many unhappy pariahs out there.
I know. You couldn't get down on one knee. And so he is fighting back and saying, listen, I was so stressed out. This was one of the most stressful things I've ever had to do in my life. You got to sit this one out because your wife proposed to you.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you want to go get a ring today? Is that what happened?
Yeah, well,
right? You're just laying there.
She rolled me over in the morning and said,
gross.
You want to go look at rings? I said, well, after last night, we probably should.
Sick. All right. I regret talking to you about this, but I want to know, is it really that nerve-wracking to propose to a woman? Is it something that like makes you forget all sense?
It is now.
Your words get jumbled.
Because it's going to be on the internet.
Yeah. High expectations.
I've been married long enough where this wasn't a thing.
I know.
If I would have shot my shot and it would have been shot down, it'd only be 2 or 3 people walking around knowing it.
The way you paint my proposal is...
oh, you mean when he stuck to the floor of a gas station and said, can you marry me on a Saturday morning in front of the guy at the holiday store?
There's so much backstory to it that you forget about or you omit details.
Was it at a gas station?
Yeah. Yes, it was. But he did a lot of planning. Okay? There was a lot of planning that went into it. A lot of sentimental reasons.
Was the picture of you right next to a big thing of Slim Jims?
No,
yes.
It wasn't.
Could have you gotten a paper
by the
for
pickles in the water.
Good morning, KCLD.
You guys are killing me.
What's your name?
Who is this?
Ashley Flav.
Ashley, you're going to Mexico!
Oh, my God! So I said your last name incorrectly. So it's Flav.
It's Flav, yes.
Okay.
Everybody says Flav, though. But
It doesn't matter. You're going to Mexico, Ashley!
Wow. I was saying to JJ, as you were on hold, I'm like, we haven't told her yet. And then I said, what a weird feeling that would be to drive in your car and you're hoping to win and then your name is called. What was that feeling like for you?
Okay, so it was crazy. I set my alarm for this morning, specifically for it. And then I'm driving to daycare, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, I'm going to get there when they call the name. So I'm, like, driving 10 miles an hour down the road, and now I'm sitting in my daycare's driveway.
So cool.
Are the kids in daycare now, or are they in the back seat?
No, they're still in the back seat.
And they're freaking out knowing Mom's going to Mexico!
Yay! Now, who's going to be watching the kids when you're out of town? Who gets that responsibility?
Yeah, those are some details we're going to have to figure out.
Okay,
Easy
get on
details. You got 2 months to figure it out. You got passports, Ashley?
You know what? I don't.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
There's time. You'll just have to expedite it. But regardless, and who do we bring with? Who's your plus one?
I mean, my first choice is going to be my husband. So.
That's the right answer. Good job. All right. I can't wait to party with you guys.
Who do you really want to bring, by the way? You have someone in mind.
No, my husband.
Now, are you a big traveler? Do you get to get out very often? Obviously, you have kids, so you're probably not traveling as much as you'd like to.
No, I don't get to get out as much as I'd like to. So this is going to be it made a good Monday.
Very excited to let loose with you. We're only 2 months away from headed to the Mexican Mayan Riviera with Burst Travel and JF Cruise Jewelers, and you and your hubby are the last two on the party plane to paradise.
Yeah, buddy. So I was at my sister's house yesterday. She was hosting, and when she hosts, she wakes up about 10 minutes before people get there.
She's such a weirdo.
And she's got like makeup on still from the night before. And they have this like promenade meander situation in her neighborhood. It's all historic houses. Okay. And so the ones that have signs outside of their house, you can go in, mingle with your neighbors, and they only do it one night a year, and it's around the holidays. And so each house has like a different theme. And my sister closed up her house so she could meander, okay? But she brought goodies to each house. She had taken bottles of Sutter Home, put them in new little like tincture bottles, and told this grand story to all of her neighbors that on my mom's side of the family, we own this massive vineyard, and that these were wine bottles from the last harvest of grapes. Like she went in on, I'm like, Emily, these people know our family. Like our family's pretty prominent in the area where she lives. Like we've lived there for 100 years. And I just could not believe she made up that story.
What made her do something like this?
I don't know. She is the way she is.
She kind of has a little bit of a,
crazy.
It's a...
So she was partying with some past mayors, and they were like, you are like the most interesting person that we have ever met. And she's like, I know.
She's the Dos Equis girl.
And she's just like hawking these tincture bottles from our family vineyard, and so okay with them trying it and going, wow, this is such an original taste.
Will her son end up doing the same thing? Do you think? Will he be a storyteller and a liar like that? Just to, I mean, it's only gotta be being done just to screw with people. Now, I like that sometimes. If I meet somebody new, I'll tell them this big whopper of a story and just to see what their reaction is. And then they're like, oh, you just do a dopey radio show? I'm like, yeah, that's it.
It was just like, yeah, more so the thought of like, hey, I'm just going to lie to everybody. And then she was too far in to go, just kidding, because she didn't want to make them look like idiots for drinking Sutter Home.
Let's begin now.
Today will be a very, very, very amazing day for a lot of people, but one person specifically, because coming up at 7:30, we'll call out their name. They hit us back within 104 seconds. They win a trip for two to Mexico. 5 days, 4 nights.
Wow.
It's all inclusive thanks to Burst Travel and JF Cruise Jewelers. If you qualified over the last 6 weeks with our Party Plane to Paradise giveaway, got to be here at 7:30. If we call out your name, you call us back, and you go to Mexico. With that on the horizon, how was your weekend, Kat?
It was packed. It was packed with stuff. We were at Powder Ridge. Did you see my post?
No. Did you have a good time?
Oh, my God. It was a beautiful night. I skied in a long sleeve shirt.
Friday?
Yeah. Long sleeve shirt and some bibs. And it was beautiful. Hardly a breeze. And then towards the end of the night, it was like the fat snowflakes.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. So every time I post from out there, somebody will win a $25 gift card to Chester's. Delicious food inside at the bar and grill.
Nothing like chalet food, man.
Yeah, I know. I turned Liam on to the fries and mayo.
Oh.
And so that was good. And so I'm going to find my winner actually pretty quick here and let them know that they won. So keep looking out for that throughout the season. Had Bloodies with a friend on Saturday morning. And then Liam and I went shopping all day. Got all of our stuff done. We relaxed. And then on Sunday, yesterday, baked cookies at my sister's house. Did like our all ladies baking day.
Your dad's birthday over the weekend too, right?
It was. He turned 76.
Happy birthday, Greg.
And so got him some treats like what old people like. Just some, caramel corn and some walnuts and cashews.
Stuff that'll stick to the bridges.
Yep. And then, last night I watched The Good Nurse. Have you seen that? No. With Jessica Chastain? This is a real story. And this guy would go from hospital to hospital, and like in his wake, he would leave dead people. Okay. And so he would go in to IV bags and put like deathly doses of betas. insulin.
Oh,
and
yeah, they can kill you.
Yeah, and so he'd just hang it, and before you know it, they'd code and go in there, and they're like, oh my God, what happened? And he'd do it on the back end of his shift, so the people that were just coming in, it would kick in like a few hours later, so it would look like they did it. He killed, they think, 400 people. He is up for parole in 2403, not 2043. 2403, and has never given a reason.
So like another 400 years.
How scary is that? So if you're going into the hospital today.
Spooky stuff, man. I have a friend from high school. Yeah, he's on his, I want to say second, maybe third marriage. But yeah, I mean, think about that. Like my youngest is 15 now, and his wife is considerably younger than him. She's 24, 25, something like that. And she, like, he had kids from his previous marriage and was kind of done with having kids, and then got married to a much younger girl, and she wanted to have a family, and so he said, yeah. I mean, they tried to have the baby, but yeah, I can't. And he looks happy, and he's a pretty energetic guy, but I could not ever imagine trying to restart being a father again.
I am considerably younger than you, and I would not. I don't have the energy to think about it.
You hit a mental threshold and you just put it behind you. Yeah. And it's good memories, great memories. My wife and I every day talk about when our kids were younger, especially this time of the year. You see all the pictures of them putting together gingerbread houses, decorating the tree. Yeah. Now I got 2 in college, and one's a freshman in high school, doesn't care about anybody in his family. And I couldn't do it. I could never do it. I couldn't keep up.
It just sounds like a total nightmare.
And I think here's the secret. Number one, this guy has been sober his entire life.
Okay.
It never was like an athlete, so he didn't beat up his body ever like that. Middle of the road, never too high, never too low kind of guy, just always even keel. Pretty healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Never a smoker, never a heavy drinker.
I think you get with a chick that young, they keep you.
It keeps
young.
you. Yeah, there's probably something to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that you're going to get on the radio and tell my wife how old she looks and how she feels old and stuff like that. And that's disappointing that you would say something about Trisha like that.
Me?
But yeah, you just said that. If you get with a younger girl, I mean, I love my wife and I would never want her to be younger.
You can start a rumor about anybody on earth, but you cannot pin us to get
that would be
against each other. She will kill me.
Yeah, she'll kill you dead.
Try any of the cookies, by the way.
No.
In the break room.
I don't want to, no.
I brought all of them in because I can't have them at my house. Big, bold move. Trying to lose some LBs for Cancun. So I brought them all in there so you can go try them.
Nope.
Okay.
Like I would trust your cooking.
You should. There were 5 women cooking yesterday at my sister's house.
Your sister being such an advocate of the hemp, any of them infused?
No, she actually went to the store and bought already made cookies and put them in the tins. I said, really? Couldn't make an ounce of an effort. So,
not even for me, she wouldn't make any special cookies.
She doesn't bake like that.
Oh, she doesn't?
I'm sure she could, but she doesn't like to bake or cook, period. Like, it's not her thing. She likes Chick-fil-A. She likes to just go through.
I'm grateful for the gift, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tell me about your mom's blog quick.
So we were in the kitchen, and she's on 10 already. Like, if she doesn't have enough elbow room to make her, like, peanut butter with the chocolate kiss inside, like, everyone should get out of her way. And
do better, by the way. That cookie's been around for way too long.
It's a classic.
I know, but you got to do better.
And so she is going through all of her stuff, making sure she has all the right ingredients. And then she says, Emma, do you have any cellophane? That's how she spoke the whole day yesterday. Emma, do you have any cellophane? And she goes, sure, I'll go down and get it downstairs. So she brings up this whole roll of cellophane. And my mom doesn't even give it a moment's chance to try to find the starting part of the cellophane. And she just like is fumbling around with it with her hands. And then she brings my sister-in-law, my older brother's wife, into it. And she's like, Jan, I need your hands. And so Jan has to pretend to fumble with it and not be able to find the starting part of the cellophane. My mom records a video for the company that created this very generic cellophane. This is not Reynolds. No, this is not Reynolds. Like, Reynolds has their stuff together.
This is like, she's going to complain to Food Club?
I think it was probably lower than Food Club. It was just maybe bottom of the barrel, 5 cents.
I don't know if I'll ever have that kind of time on my hands.
So she videotapes and she ends it with evidently what her vlog is going to be called.
Got a tag?
Yeah. And my advice to you is go back to the drawing board. And she did this little snap with her left hand while she films her right. And I was like, what are you doing? And I said, are you going to post that anywhere? She goes, yeah, but I only got Jan's hands in it. No one will know that it's us. And I said, but it's you that's posting it. Like, she doesn't understand that. I said, people are going to lambaste you, Mom. They're going to make fun of you for taking the time to make a video about a product. As simple as, like, you could have just ran a knife around it and found the end, like the starting point of the cellophane.
What's the name of the blog now?
And back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board with Jen.
So all these products that fail her.
Is it
daily,
online? Could I see it right now?
No. It won't ever happen. Like, in her mind, she already has a gallery in her phone of products that have failed her. That, like, this thing of tea bags from Tivana. They all busted. Every single one of them.
Sure they
all
did.
all the hot water in all of her mugs. Did you know that all of them broke? All of them. Not just one. All the staples were put on wrong.
What was the last product you've complained about?
It was that Archer Farms trail mix.
That was 10 years ago.
That was over 10 years ago.
And they sent you a coupon for a new one.
They did.
And it was funny because they were very responsive. But I don't think outside of a car, I've ever complained about a product enough where I had to get a new one. It was like, this is faulty, I'll take it back, and they'll give me a different one. But I've never pissed and moaned about it on the internet.
I just said, what's the end game here, Mom? What are you hoping for? A whole new roll of cellophane that you didn't buy? You didn't buy it. Emma did. So it was just really, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what's going on up there.
Is she looking to be noticed more? Is that what's going on? Do you think she's going through she's midlife? And
the thing is, she wants people to be held accountable. And that's where we're at.
Archer Farms is going to be held accountable for her Reynolds wrap?
No. Why would they?
Well, I'm just saying, what do you mean accountable?
She wants people that make products.
They're going to change their corporate structure because you couldn't find the end of the cellophane?
Maybe she's the one to make it happen. Maybe they say, listen, we got our first and our last video that we want to get.
This is the stuff that jumbles up the world, man. This is traffic jamming the world.
I should have videotaped her face as she videotaped it because it was like,
well, I've seen the face.
I'm going to freaking get you.
Yeah, I've seen
You're
that
going
face.
down. You don't see that face every day.
Listen, you are turning so quickly into your mother that you don't even know. And I can say this because I've spent considerable time with your mom. And I see you're ratcheting up at a world-class rate.
I
like
just love
Usain Bolt type weight.
Back to the drawing board.
Have you ever? I want to throw this out real quick since we were talking about it. But have you ever gone to the point where you've complained about something, about maybe even a product, and it's actually worked?
Maybe it has. Like Meghan Markle complained to. Was it the people at Dawn or whatever dish soap where they made it seem like only women do dishes, and then they changed up their whole campaign?
Okay, so that worked.
Yeah.
This is one of the silliest things I've ever heard. But if you want to save gas and save on gas, drive around with a bowl of water in your car. Have you heard this now?
No.
It might actually save you a little money, but is it worth feeling like a weirdo every time you drive? People online are talking about a hack to save money on gas. Drive around with an open bowl of water in your car.
Okay.
Here's why.
Go ahead.
Because if you have an open bowl, like take a cereal bowl, fill it full of water, put it on the driver's side floor mat. If you slow down slower and accelerate slower so that the water doesn't spill out of the bowl of water or the bowl, you'll save on gas. Because fast accelerating.
Slow. I get on Derek so much because he accelerates like Fred Flintstone. Like the way that I'm like, why are you pushing so hard? And then when he hits like my dome light, I'm getting hot even thinking about it.
Dome light?
He's like, hits it so hard to like
turn it off,
turn a light on, or like,
oh wow,
everything is so hard of a movement. You know,
they say this can save you 40% in gasoline over the course of a year.
Oh, makes sense.
I mean, so if you let's just say roughly you pay whatever, if you spend $1,000 on gas every quarter or even every 6 months. You'll only spend $600. You'll save $400.
Wow.
On gasoline by putting a bowl of water in your passenger seat or the passenger seat floor mat and it'll keep you from accelerating or decelerating too fast.
I got a question about gas. Aren't you supposed to be able to fill up even when the gas station is closed?
With your card? If there's a pay at the pump, why wouldn't you?
I couldn't do that the other night.
Really?
The gas station was closed. I roll up. It says insert your card, put the chip in. Then it says keep your card in. And then it says, okay, remove your card. And then it doesn't give me any option to do gas. So I moved to the next pump. Same thing. So I thought you should have been able to do that.
Your husband texted me, the dome light is a push button and it makes a sound. She's freaking ridiculous.
It's just like so hard. Everything he does is so hard. Light switches, everything. And then he leans on our freezer that pulls out underneath. I don't know how many times I have to tell him, don't lean on it. It's going to break our freezer.
Your domestic squabbles have me just tired. I'm exhausted.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.